Guys, do you like RPGs? Because Two Worlds 2 is actually playable! Yes! Finally! Fucking finally! I have been waiting forever for this game to be badass! Joe said that Two Worlds 2 is actually playable and fun now? Sort of! Okay. Yeah, guys, it's true, okay? I'm sorry this review's a little late. There is so much content in the game that I don't even know how anybody has reviewed it yet. At least fully. Single player and multiplayer. There is just so much here that I can already tell you that you are gonna get your money's worth in terms of content and value. Do you like RPGs? Are you a fan of the open ones? Or are you a fan of the corridor ones where you're forced to fast travel and just stay in a corridor everywhere? I'm a fan of the open ones.
Yeah, I'm swimming. Oh, it's awesome. I can go where I want. I can go anywhere. I can go in the water and swim to that island. Okay, I'm getting tired. I'm gonna swim. Oh god. Oh god, they're not gonna make it. Oh, get away from me, fishing. Okay, so go ahead, go get help. Oh, I'm not gonna make it. Go get help, please. I'm gonna drown.
And this is that kind of game. And it actually works. And it's well enough now in the sequel to actually deserve a second look. The first game was a disaster, okay? Some called it the worst RPG on the Xbox. The poor man's Oblivion. Some actually enjoyed the game, saw it for its charm, and actually pushed all the way through it. Me, myself, I tried to. I really wanted to like the game. But it had the worst frame rate I've ever seen on the Xbox 360. Downright embarrassing. And about 2/3 the way of the game, the whole game crashed into a game-breaking bug where I couldn't finish the game. Had I rated it at the time, it probably would have given it like a 3 out of 10. But despite that low score, just like Alpha Protocol, I started it back up and I played all the way through it. Why? Because Two Worlds does lots of unique things, and it does those same things again, only better in this game. Is it worth your money? Only if you like open world RPGs and you're willing to forgive some of the rough edges. Unlike the original, the frame rate is smooth, it's playable. Though it does sometimes get hung up when you're casting a spell or when you're fighting 7 or 8 enemies. But it's really amazing how much improvement has happened from the first game to the second game. And I wish more developers would make this kind of real improvement from sequel to sequel. Now, there are already a bunch of reviews for this game, like I said. I have no idea how they reviewed it so fast. But rarely does anybody go into much detail on multiplayer, and I've noticed that a lot in a lot of different kind of reviews. So that's what I want to start with here, the multiplayer in Two Worlds 2. There's a 7-level campaign separate from the single-player campaign that you can play with up to 7 of your friends in a party with and go through together. Now, it's your pretty standard fare sort of hack and slash on separate levels, but you can do all the same stuff that you could do in the original campaign. Buy stuff, brew potions, upgrade your weapons, loot, color your armor, create crazy ass spells, and all of it is done with a separate multiplayer character that you create. I just wish that it was in a more open area instead of these set levels. But that's not all. There are other modes too. There's Deathmatch. Though if you're not around the same level, you're gonna get slaughtered. It's gonna be extremely unfair for you. But it's awesome that they cared enough to include it. Better than not having it at all. There's also a village mode, which is basically like a town manager. Sim City almost. Sort of like Fable 3, what Fable 3 would be like in an actual RPG. Only here you buy and build property.
Well done. The village is generating income, and your auras will be counted every 6 hours.
You manage your village, you keep them safe from monsters that try to attack the village. You make sure they're happy, you take care of their needs. It's almost like a Tamagotchi pet. It's an interesting mode, but I think it needs a few more things to spice it up. Otherwise, you could get a few hours of distraction out of it. Now, one of the modes that doesn't really work is the crystal race. There's just no fun in it. All you're doing is running around collecting blue crystals while other people run around and collect blue crystals. And if you run into the skulls, it switches the crystals around and it changes their direction. It's really just a foot race. And it's just not fun. But it is cool that Two Worlds 2 offers these kinds of multiplayer experiences within an RPG, and not a whole lot of other RPGs out there are doing this. It's what sets it apart from other games, and it makes Two Worlds 2 feel more complete. But now on to the meat of the game, the single player in this RPG. Now, I don't know where to start. I want to cover all of these individual quests, all of these crazy experiences.
Tell me something. Are you a god?
No.
Then you will die.
I'd like to change my answer. There always seems to be a few more to kill.
But this video would be hours long. So let me break it down like this. Here is all the bad. The character models. They still look ridiculous, okay? They look bad. I think it's the arms. They look like they have two elbows. They look like sausage links. They're still not right. The dialogue is lacking. In fact, I would prefer them to go back to the cheesiness of Old English. At least that one had charm. Here, it's just flat line after flat line on a consistent basis. It's hard to get excited or feel any amount of impending doom. They make fun of the Old English when they should be doing the Old English.
Where me be woe, O good sir, thou know'st. Natheless, to try and live life gay I vowed, and verily I weet my foreward. Forsooth, I shall await thy return with heart blithe. Thus I thee pray.
I don't have time for this bullshit.
There's some forgettable quests at the beginning of the game and throughout this relatively lackluster story, with a disappointing ending. Now, these are all really important things, right? But for whatever reason, the game is still fun to play because it gets all of the core ideas behind an RPG right. Customizing your character with badass weapons and armor and loot. Creating unique and powerful magic spells by adding cards together, experimenting and seeing what you get. And basically forging your own path in this wide open world. And unlike a game that lasts 4 hours and ends in an insulting way, at least in Two Worlds 2, you will have spent, 40, 60, 80 hours, then got a slightly disappointing ending. It doesn't matter as much in the grand scheme of things, you see? You've already forged your own story and got value out of it by the ending. But those are things that are lackluster in the game. Now let's talk about the good things in the game. Like I said, massive amount of content. You could go 80 hours plus experiencing all the stuff in single player and then all the stuff in multiplayer. Multiplayer actually works and it's playable. It's fun. You can convince your friends to buy the game and go through it with you. There's a great amount of detail in everything. The buildings, the environments, the armor sets, the intricacies on the armor, your weapons, you name it. There's plenty of special moves for each weapon type. Maces, axe, swords, all have their own unique moves and powerful abilities. Same with the archers and the magic disciplines. There's lots of enemy types. Two Worlds has always had great variety in the enemy types. If you like a wide variety of enemies, you'll like Two Worlds too. There's even baboons who throw shit at you.
What the hell was that? Oh, sick! Oh, you just threw Dookie at me, you little baboon. Oh, mother. You mother. What, you want some too? Shut up. Hey, get back here. Come on, where are you going? Get over here, you little baboon. Ah, yeah. What the? You're still throwing shit at me, man. I'm gonna come get you, man. What the? Where are you? Where are you hiding? Are you in the tree? I'll show you.
They've thought of everything. The magic system. Probably the most innovative thing about this game is the magic system. It might be one of the most kick-ass magic systems ever created. It makes full use of the physics engine. It has you combining magic cards to create new spells. If you can dream it, you could probably build it in the game. And it's a game within itself to figure out all of the crazy-ass things that you can create. It's almost like Magica. And if you don't understand it, or you need creative help, or you want to see just how insane it gets, hop onto YouTube and look at all of the crazy spells people are creating like this. It's actually fun to be a mage in Two Worlds 2, and you can make him look badass. These are normally things that I don't play in an RPG for those reasons. But Two Worlds 2 makes it worth it. You can end up playing the entire game the whole way through a second time as a mage. And finally, the crafting system. You can further customize your weapons beyond their original stats by taking duplicates and breaking them down into their original core elements. Iron, wood, steel, those kinds of things. You can brew potions on the fly with your cauldron and actually save those recipes for later. Oh, and you can name spells. Oh, you could read books that actually teach you things on how to be a better mage, how to combine spells better, how to create different spells. They even unlock special abilities that you have to read the book in order to unlock the special abilities. This is a true hardcore RPG and what you can do in its world. Now, Two Worlds, people have given you a really hard time. So much of a hard time that you've kind of resorted to making Two Worlds into a joke.
You have 33 new voice messages. Erasing message.
Dude, it sounds like it's raining, but there's no rain anywhere in this game. Oh, there it is. 5 minutes later. That makes sense. This game is so bad. It's actually good. No, it's not.
It's Kandahar. Kill Rick. Call me.
Hey, you answered. It's Rick.
I will kill your family, I will kill your dog, and if you look beside you, your goldfish is dead. Stop calling me. Goodbye.
The game right now is good enough, guys, to stand on its own, and it doesn't need to constantly be compared to the Elder Scrolls in any other way other than fans of that series will probably enjoy this one. Especially now that it has graduated into a league above its peers. Two Worlds, Risen, Arcana, Divinity. My final verdict for Two Worlds 2 is a very strong 7 out of 10. A great game, and something I can recommend to fans. Somebody who's willing to overlook the rough edges for a truly open, massive, and hardcore RPG experience. You were here, Two Worlds. You were here. But now, you're here. But you want to be here. And damn, I love a developer like this who shows real and actual improvements consistently. And you should too. And that's why I'm more than happy to support this game, so that I can give them a chance at repeating this achievement. I can't wait to see what they have for us next time. But until then, I'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show. Woohoo! Come on! We can quest together now! Haha! Woohoo!
I want to play too!
Demon Joe, you can't play. Get out of here.
But why?